made sure we did not spend no more money that day because, girl, you're running my pockets. Want to go to Miami so bad, you're gonna have to go looking crusty. Magically, her card is blocked. What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Livvia. Welcome back to another freaking video, and welcome if you are new. Today I'm about to be coming to y'all with a story time. I have not done a story time in so long. It's been almost a year now, and I feel like I could finally talk about this. Alright, so boom. This happened last summer. Last summer, I didn't really have any friends. I usually don't have friends. Like, I like to stick to myself. I don't really care for friends. I was feeling like really open for friends last summer. Like, I was like, okay, like, you know what, I'm gonna start putting myself out there. I need some friends out here. And in Mass, because I live in Massachusetts, if you don't know, and it's the most boring state in the US. But I was like, you know what, I need some friends. Okay, I need some friends. I need to stop being a lonely ass girl. Before I even start into this story, there was certain things when I became her friend. We were friends for about like 2 months before we went to Miami, and there were certain things before we like even went to Miami I was peeping, but I'm such a nice person, I let it go out the window. Leading up to this trip, it was just chaos. It was a disaster. It was giving me the feeling of it was God telling me don't go. And I even got to the point where I think maybe a few days before I said I don't think we should go on this trip anymore. She was kind of annoyed, and she was like, it's only a few days before the trip, you want to cancel it now? And I'm like, what's wrong? We'll get flight credit, whatever, and then we can go when we feel situated. And the whole issue of why I wanted to not go on the trip is because leading up to it, this girl had no money. I'm a one-way girl. I told her, if you don't feel comfortable, because when I got my ticket, I was like, I'm gonna get a one-way. I told her, if you don't feel comfortable, you can get a round trip. She's like, I'm gonna get a one-way so we can leave together. She's like, I don't want to leave separate. I'm like, okay, cool, I understand. 24 hours before the trip, she talks about, do you think you can get my ticket coming back? I'll pay you back. Girl, I have money for the trip for myself to spend, and I have money to come back for myself. I don't have money to bring you back, to bring me back, to have fun on the trip. I'm not shitting on nobody who doesn't have money. Like, let me make that clear. I'm not, because there's been a lot of times that I've been down bad. I'm human. It happens. I'm not trying to come for anybody. Like, no. But why would you go on a trip with only and not money to pay for a plane ticket back? Like, she was getting me tight. So we started to get into an argument a whole 24 hours, literally less than 24 hours before our flight. Why are you just now telling me this information? Mind you, she's trying to go get her nails done. She's trying to go get her eyelashes done. She's trying to go get her eyebrows done, a wax, everything. She was going to get those things done. She got her nails done. I think she got her lashes done. She was complaining about money. Girl, what the hell? You can't get those services done. So you have to go looking busted, crusted, and dusted. Sorry. You want to go to Miami so bad, you're gonna have to go looking crusty. So cancel your appointments. What was going through your brain? You thought I was gonna sit here and pay for everything? The day of the trip, I have to leave my car at her house. I was kind of running late to her house, but I finally made it, and her dad brings us to the airport. We get to the airport. Since I was running late, we were both running late for our flight, so we're going through TSA, and then the worst shit could ever happen to me. I leave my laptop at TSA, and I don't realize until I get on the plane. I'm rushing through security, putting the proper things in the bin, and taking my shoes off and taking my jacket off and everything like that. And then I'm running to the gate so I can get on my flight. And then I realize I don't have my laptop. I start having a panic attack because my laptop is one of the most important things of my entire freaking life. Since I do YouTube, how am I supposed to edit and upload videos for y'all without my laptop? So I started having a panic attack. I started crying. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Something told me, I know it was God, but something told me that Mello will buy you a new laptop. I know that sounds crazy. Me and Mello weren't even dating yet, but I was like, Mello will buy me a new laptop, and he actually did buy me a laptop, and I filmed it. So if you guys want to see that video, I'm gonna leave it down in the description. But he actually did end up buying me the new laptop, and it was funny because I didn't ask him. I don't ask niggas to buy me shit. I'm not one of those girls. So while I'm panicking that I'm on the flight and the flight is taking off and that I lost my laptop, I'm thinking it's stolen. I'm not even thinking TSA has it. I'm thinking that shit is stolen. It's out with the MacBook Pro. Like, someone's gonna steal that shit. While I'm over here panicking that my laptop is gone, this girl, she sees that I'm panicking, crying. The first thing she says in my ear is that,
"It's okay, you don't have to pay for my ticket coming back."
I looked at her, I wanted to, in my head, all I could think of is, I wasn't buying your ticket coming back in the first place. I told you I'm not getting your ticket coming back. Tell your mom and dad to buy your ticket coming back. Like, what the? I don't even say anything to her. I give her the most disgusted look ever because, girl, I was silent the entire flight because I was stressing over my laptop, and then that little stupid ass comment had me annoyed. So I didn't say not one word to her. I just went to sleep the entire flight. So boom, we make it to Miami, and I'm just happy to be back in like my second home, you know. I have my friend pick us up. He's a promoter, so he does rentals, club promoting, B&Bs, all of that. So I asked him like, hey, can you pick us up from the airport? He usually does that stuff. I throw him some gas money because, you know, that's what people should do. And then boom, we get into the B&B. This is where she starts with her money bullshit again. I'm over here like, I'm starving, I haven't ate. I'm like, we should get some food because she wanted to get weed right away. And I'm like, okay, like, since I'm already trying to quit from weed, if I do smoke, I told myself I need to eat before I smoke. So I was like, I'm gonna get some food. So she's like, I'm hungry too. I'm like, okay. So I think I was like, I wanted Taco Bell. So I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna get some Taco Bell. And she was like,
"But I don't want Taco Bell."
I'm like, okay, like, what does me wanting Taco Bell have to do with you wanting Taco Bell? And she's like, well, I thought we could just like get it together. She's like, I kind of want Wingstop. And I'm like, what do you thought? I was gonna buy me and you Taco Bell too? I'm not trying to be one of those people who's like, damn, she can't even pay for her friend. I can. I pay for my friends a lot. I'm not one of those people at all. I'm not stingy. I am not a stingy person. But when you sit here and you pile your expenses up on me and me and me and me. So I'm like, why don't you just order your Wingstop and I order my Taco Bell? She was annoyed that I did that. But girl, I don't want Wingstop. I want a Taco Bell. And if you have money to pay for Wingstop, get your Wingstop. Get your Wingstop. And leave me alone. Let me get my Taco Bell in peace. She was annoyed. And she was like, fine. Well, make sure you remind me when my Wingstop gets here. I'm like, okay, that's not an issue. They're probably going to knock on the door anyway. So boom, food gets here. And then the plug, I know he comes to the B&B. It's my homeboy and his homeboy and yada yada yada. So we're all kicking in, whatever, getting ready to go out because we were gonna go to the club. And I'm eating my food. Everything is fine. Like, we're all just vibing. She starts to like feel my homeboy, which is the plug, and she starts to think he's cute or whatever. But he ended up not going out with us, so they kind of like, they talked a little bit, but nothing like serious happened. So Mello comes too, and then we're all just vibing. We end up going to the club, and then the boys stay back at the B&B just to, you know, just whatever, to wait for us. We ended up taking too long to get ready to go to the club, so we had an Uber. I'm like, okay, like, I don't mind, I'll get this Uber. I'm thinking like, okay, you're gonna get the Uber coming back. So boom, we get an Uber. We go to the strip club. We're vibing. It's like, I think it was Thursday, so we went to KOD, and it wasn't like, if you've been to KOD on Thursdays, like, I don't know, it's kind of just like laid out. It's like same old, so it's nothing like crazy or whatever. And so we ended up going to Taboo after, which is Tory Lane's club, and we're vibing. It's much more of a lit time there. We're vibing, whatever. I don't really care for strip clubs, so I was kind of like 4 in the morning. I was getting to the point where I was like, I want to go home. I don't know if you're having a good time, but I'm ready to go home. She's like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. And I'm like, okay, like, can you get the Uber? This girl all of a sudden can't get the Uber. I'm just like, okay, whatever. At this point, I'm the type of person, like, when I'm drunk and I'm tired, like, I don't care if it costs $1 million to go home. I'm find a way to go home. So I pay for the Uber, and as soon as we get in the car, I said, it's whatever, you could just send me half of the Uber and that's fine. We get back to the place and we knock. Next day happens. We wake up, and since I lost my laptop, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to do as many videos as I can to save money to get a new laptop. So I was doing videos with Mello. She was kind of getting mad, and I'm like, girl, like, first of all, you know this is the nigga I talk to, you know this is the nigga I like. Let me spend time with him. He's here. It's not like I'm leaving and I'm like only with him. He was in our B&B with us, so I'm like, I don't understand. And the homeboy that she was feeling was there too. So I'm like, girl, like, okay, there you go. Like, they have a car, so they end up taking us to go get food. We go to this place called Perry Wings. If you've been to Miami, you probably know Perry Wings. It's really, really, really good. I'm putting her on. I'm like, oh, like, let's go to Perry Wings. I'm gonna show you. They have like the best chicken. They have really good sauce on the chicken. This Perry sauce, yada, yada, yada. So I bring her to Perry Wings. She gets her food, whatever. It's time for her to pay. Magically, her card is blocked. You can't use her card now. I'm like, what in the world? Why is your card blocked now? So I'm like, call your bank right now. Call your bank. I'm doing it low-key because I'm not gonna embarrass you, because I've been down, you know, I've been down before. So I'm like, call your bank. Call your bank. She tells me the bank is not open to call. I'm like, it's like 4 o'clock. How is the bank not open to call? It's the weekday. It's not even Sunday either. So she's like, I can't call the bank, blah, blah, blah. Then she tells me my bank account is connected to with my mom's account, so I'm gonna have to call my mom. I'm like, okay, so call your mom. Call your mom. Her mom is not answering the phone. Your mom that is very overprotective of you and doesn't even let you out at 12 till 12 in the morning is not answering the phone, and you're in a whole other state. I ended up paying for her food. So boom, I made sure we did not spend no more money that day, because girl, you're running my pockets. Like, what the fuck, you think I'm a trick? Like, I'm not tricking you. I swear she was doing it on purpose, and she was just loving her life. Hit up a nigga to give you some money, because what? It's nighttime. It's time for the club. We're getting ready to go to the club. I'm in the back of my mind, I'm doing my makeup. In the back of my mind, I'm stressing. I'm like, damn, I have to spend more money on this. She wants to go to the club now, and I have to pay for her to get into the club. Then I'm gonna have to pay for the Uber. Then I'm gonna have to do this. Then I'm gonna have to do this. Like, I was just like, I didn't know I raised a I'm a mother. Like, that's what was going through my mind as I was doing my makeup. She's just living her best life. She comes over to me. She's like, do you think you can do my edges? My camera stopped. She's like, do you think you could do my edges? I'm over here trying to do edges. It was not working. I showed her what I could do. I showed her in the mirror. She was like, so boom, I paid for the Uber once again, and we end up going to the club. While we're on our way to the club, I know the promoter. We don't have to wait in line or whatever. We're chilling in his car, and I'm texting him. I'm like, my friend's card is blocked and she has no money to get in the club. I'm trying to maybe like get him to be like, let her go into the club for free, because I already ended up paying for my ticket to go in the club, because you just have to cash out the promoter. So I cashed out him. And sometimes if you're lucky, if it's really like kind of not as a poppin' night, you can go in the club for free if you got it like that. But it's like I said, if you got it like that, you can get in for free. So I'm trying to, you know, see if I could get her in for free so I don't have to pay. He's like, why don't you just pay for her? I'm just like, fine, I'll pay for her. I'll pay for her the 30th fucking time. I'll pay for her. So I end up cash apping him and paying for her to get into the club. This sat down the entire time. She didn't twerk her butt at all. She just sat there and kind of was like, made like a salty face. And I remember she told me, she was like, oh, these clubs are kind of boring, like they play the same songs over again. I'm like, I just paid for you to get into this club. I think it was $40 too. I'm like, I just paid for you to get into the club. You better drink those drinks, smoke that hookah, and shake that ass, because I did not pay for nothing. I'm over here still trying to make light of it, and I even go on my phone and post her in my story of us having a good time. I tag her. You know what this girl tells me? This is when I knew everything started trickling down, of everything making sense. I love when you post me in your story and you tag me, because I've been getting mad followers lately. Girl, you just exposed yourself. You've been using me for my money this entire time. This entire time. We're gonna use positive affirmations here. I am somebody. I'm going to be somebody very successful. I really believe in it. But in my head, I'm thinking like, little old me you get followers off me. And yes, it does happen sometimes. You know, I post a pretty girl on my story that I'm with, my followers follow. I'm not sitting here with 100k followers on Instagram, but I do have a little bit of followers. I don't even have 10k, but I have some bit of followers. You're pretty, they like you, they'll follow you. So she was gaining followers from when I would post her. That's no issue for me. But after spending all my money and now you're telling me, oh, you're getting clout, and I'm getting clout and I love it. It's cut for you. It's cut. After she said that line, I was heated. I was pissed. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and add up all the expenses that this girl owes me since I've been on this trip, because this is only 2 days in and I've spent damn near $200 on you in only 2 days. After spending all this money, because mind you, we were also buying weed and we were also buying woods. Me was also buying weed and woods and things in the club and food and all that stuff. And then I had to pay for my ticket coming back, which was about $200. It left me with no money. Not enough money to pay for anything for her. So boom, we wake up the next morning from the club and it's time to check out. I tell her, look, call your mom, call your bank, get that situated right now. I don't have any more money. I don't have any more money to spend on you, and I don't know why you would come on a trip with no money in your pocket. It's kind of like common sense. And mind you, I already told you I don't think we should go on the trip anymore. So I don't know why you would want to come on this trip with no money. So she starts getting mad and she's like, okay. Oh, I didn't even tell y'all. Okay, so I completely missed out another big factor. When Mello helped me pay for my laptop, I paid for the other half. So he went half with me to pay for the laptop. So I paid for my laptop too. I was buying a lot of stuff, plus taking care of a whole other human being, a grown-ass human being at that. I didn't have any more money left. I had money, but not money to buy her a ticket going back home and to pay for anything else she wanted to do. I just had money to, you know, survive. She didn't even tell her mom she was on a one-way. She lied to her mom and told her she was on a round trip. So I said, call your mom, call your bank, get your card, your account unblocked, all of that, because you need to go home, baby. I told her straight up, I said, you need to go home. She was like, okay. I'm like, okay, like, I don't understand why you're mad. You know what this girl told me? She said,
well, you would have had enough money if you didn't buy a whole laptop.
YouTube is my career. YouTube is my hobby. I need to buy my laptop. My laptop is a priority. My priorities are not your priorities. I don't have to sit here and pay for your ticket coming back. I don't have to sit here and pay for you to get into the club. I don't have to sit here and pay for food to be in your stomach. I chose to do that because I'm a nice person. So yes, I did need to get a laptop so I can continue to post videos online and to make some type of money to fend for myself. So yes, I did need to get a laptop. Talking about you should, and it's my money. How are you gonna tell me what to do with my money? I snapped on her and I told her, like, nah, this is where the trip is over. Like, this is only 3 days into this and the trip is over after you told me that bullshit. We're checking out our Airbnb and I know exactly where I was gonna go. Right with my man. I went right to my man and I'm like, I'm staying with you until I can go back home, because I was like, I can't. And then she was like, can I stay with him too? I'm like, no, you can't stay with him. Like, what is in your right mind? Mind you, back at home before we went to Miami, she was trying to tell me to cut Mello off. And then when we get to Miami, she's over here trying to be buddy. I'm like, girl, no, you can't stay with him. Are you stupid? So we check out our Airbnb. I go straight to my man, and if she ends up going to the guy, because Mello and his homeboy were together, and his homeboy was the guy that she was feeling. So we end up going to where they're at, and she calls her mom. She tells her, she's giving me the side eye. She's being, you know, low-key rude to me. Luckily, this is God. Luckily, her mom was in Florida as well for a wedding. So she actually ended up just getting a bus to go to where her mom was. So she didn't actually end up going home. She ended up going to be with her mom and going for a relative's wedding, which was on a nice resort spa. I told her I would have went on that instead of going to a trip to Miami when you don't even have money. You could have went to something that had all expenses paid for. He actually paid for her Uber. I paid for her Uber to go to the bus station. She was still texting me at this time. Mind you, in my head, all I could think of is as soon as she leaves, I am cutting this girl off. I am not talking to her ever again. That's all I could think of in my mind. And I'm the type to kind of like ghost. So I was just gonna ghost her. But she's like texting me. So I'm like, whatever. I'm responding back here and there. And then she's like, oh, so I said, I know your mom probably hates me, LOL. She said, LOL, I said, LOL, we both didn't have enough bread. She said, I keep telling you I was good. I made sure I was good before I left, so I'm not ruining anything with low money. I said, how were you good when you had $200 and the ticket was $200 and you were asking for me to pay it and you were gonna pay me back? I was sitting here on the plane. You're talking about you would need to pay for my ticket. If you had enough money, why do I have to pay for your ticket? And we've never talked to each other since. Like, it's literally just been that. I forgive her for this situation. I'm happy that I got it off of my mental, because it just randomly popped in my head like the other day when I was driving. I forgive her. I wish her peace and blessings in her life, and I wish prosperity, and I'm gonna pray for her because I think she needs heavily prayer, so I am going to pray for her. My camera died. Forgive me for all this swearing in the video. I try not to swear on my channel anymore, but that got me really worked up, because why are you putting me in this predicament? Then acting like I'm not a good friend when I sat here and I paid for almost everything in the entire summer for you. Like, from the entire summer before we even got to Miami, I was paying for this girl. So it really got me worked up, but I have no hatred in my heart, and I forgive her. I don't want to hold any grudges. So if you're watching this video, I forgive you. But I know this was a lot. Like, I'm not good at story times either, so I hope the way I edit this, I hope the way I'm talking, it sounds good and you guys are understanding everything I'm saying. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, was I in the right or was I in the wrong? Was she in the right or was she in the wrong? I feel like I was in the right because I was sitting here paying everything for her. Everything. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.